Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. I got up this morning. I was going to film last night and I got interrupted with phone calls, and so I waited until this morning, and this is me getting up to have a little bit of breakfast. And I am actually eating today. You know, I'm kind of doing an every other day thing that I'm experimenting with. If you watch my last video, if you haven't, welcome to my channel. We talk about a lot of different things here, but recently I'm started kind of experimenting with alternate day fasting and also one meal a day fasting. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a combination of both, a little bit different, and I'll explain as I go along. But today I'm having some pancakes this morning and a cup of java. And yes, I did put just a little bit of sugar and cream in there because I didn't have very much to eat yesterday, although I did eat healthy. I did eat healthy yesterday when I got home. So, first off, I got bombarded with some phone calls, and the one in particular was from my son, and it's this whole, and I try very hard not to get political at all, ever. You know that on this channel. If you've been here for a hot minute, you know that I do not like to talk politics at all, and I'm not going to necessarily talk politics at this moment. But what I am going to talk about is the state of our world. And it's kind of a scary place right now. Our head of the free world made a decision the other day to take out a leader in another country, and that country is quite upset, as I'm sure you've all been following the news. And my son called me last night in a state of panic, wondering if, there would be a possibility of, of there being a draft. And, I mean, it just, as you know, I deal with anxiety and depression at times, and it really set me on a tailspin last night. It really, really, really sent me on a tailspin. And then I couldn't get my deadbolt on my front door to open. And so then that really made me claustrophobic all of a sudden. And I just was like, update, I did take apart my deadbolt all by myself. Thank you very much. And got it working again. So for however long I may have to replace my deadbolt, but for now it's working. But at that moment, in that little window of time, it was like, if you've ever had those kind of panic moments, you'll know where I'm coming from. If not, you'll think I'm a little bit nutty, but it's okay because it is what it is. Anyway, and I talked to a dear friend of mine who has been in the service and who basically talked me off the ledge. So thank you. If you ever see this, you know who you are. And I had to shed a few tears and let the pressure off, kind of the tea kettle coming to a boil. I had to, because it was like, I don't know, I honestly couldn't tell my son. If you don't have something to eat, if you're eating breakfast, have breakfast with me. Put me on pause. Go get something to eat. Come back. This may be short. This may be a little bit longer. But go get something to eat and come back. Let's let's chat. Let's have some breakfast together. Let's talk, okay? Because I could really use somebody to have breakfast with. Because I typically don't have anybody to have breakfast with, as a rule. But I honestly couldn't tell him because I don't know. I really don't know. You know, Australia is on fire. Um, I have a couple that I know that are living over there that are missionaries that have been to my church several times. I did message them this morning on Facebook, asking them if they are okay. I'm not quite sure. They're in Alice Springs. I'm not sure if Alice Springs has been affected, but I've seen some devastating photos. I'm going to try not to focus on that because I will. Not of them, but just of the whole Australia as a whole. And I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but if you would either pray or send good vibes, good thoughts, whatever, to Australia, boy, they could sure use it. I'm just praying for rain or something, some weird snow shower, something to help them put these fires out over there because they need it bad. It's just horrible. I know that God tells us in His Word that in the last days there are going to be, basically tumultuous times. And boy, there's just so much going on around the world and in the country right now. And it will remain to be seen what happens with Iran. What will happen now that this has happened. And it makes me think about my grandkids, everybody else's grandkids, kids, friends of mine that have little ones, younger friends of mine that have little ones. What kind of a world they're growing up in, or will we be caught up in the rapture soon? I don't know. None of us know. So, again, I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but if you don't pray, good vibes, positive thoughts, please, for Australia, for our country. We need it. So, let's talk a little bit. Let's change the subject. Let's try to get a little bit more upbeat and not be so. Let's talk about food, shall we? Food. What am I doing? What am I not doing? What I've done this week has been, I've been stopping eating by 6 p.m. at night. And on the day that I eat. And then I water fast the whole next day until 6 p.m. that next night. So that I have gone a full 24 hours of fasting. And then at that 24-hour point, excuse me, then I break the fast. And I have a meal. And I did weigh myself this morning, and I have lost 2 pounds this week. So then the next day, like today is an eat day for me. And I will, I did make myself 3 pancakes, but I really don't see myself eating all 3 of them because I think through this process throughout the week, my stomach has shrunk. And what I've been doing on my eating days is just only eating 3 meals a day and eating, and I've been trying to eat, I know pancakes maybe aren't the healthiest. I'm not going to be a drill sergeant when it comes to, for me. I mean, you got to do what you want to do. I've decided that this is my path and this is what I'm going to do, and what you want to do. You're the captain of your own ship, and which is the beautiful thing about this whole thing. You are the captain of your own ship. You make your own decisions. You don't have to do just because I had mentioned in my last video a healthy alternative, which there are a lot of inspiring videos on there. Now, please keep in mind that some of these people that you'll watch, if you found that YouTube channel or their website, many of those people have gone on extreme water fasts. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way in Kane that this girl is going to go on that extreme of a water fast. Some people go on like a week of just water fast. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm not, to each his own. I'm just saying for me. Some people go on 30-day, 60-day, or longer, just water fast. And it's like, for me, at least for right now, and maybe down the road, maybe I'll change my mind. But for me, for right now, no. I do 24 hours, and then I have a day of eating. Then I do a 24-hour water fast. Then I do a day of eating. Then I do a 24-hour. And I'm trying that. Like so many things, it's trial and error to see how your body works, how your body functions, and not only your body, your mind. Because I told myself the other day when I was journaling that I want to be able to do something for the long haul. It's got to be a lifestyle. It can't be something that's just a temporary thing. It can't be something that we do for 3 months or 6 months and then go back to our old ways, because if you do that, you may as well not start to begin with, because you know as well as I do what's going to happen. You're going to go right back to square one, right? You're going to go right back to square one, and it's going to do you no good. And it's just not going to do you any good. So I'm just trying to find a groove for me. And I would be interested to hear what you guys are doing. One of you had messaged me the other day and was encouraging about fasting. And I would like to know how many of you have you ever tried fasting? Are you currently fasting? What are your thoughts about fasting? Leave me a comment down below. I mean, I'm open to hearing anything that you've got to say. That's what we're here for. I mean, we're a small but mighty family here on YouTube. We're here to support one another and love one another and share with each other what helps, what doesn't help. I mean, it's a place of freedom, a place to not be afraid to talk about things. And if you've tried something and it worked, I want to hear it. If you tried something and it didn't work, I want to hear it. The thing is that different things work for different people. And even what I'm doing that I'm sharing with you now, you may go, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. You know what? No judgment for me. that's perfectly fine. I don't know for sure if it's going to work for me for the long haul. But so far this week, this right now it's been doable. It's been doable. Um, and I told you I was going to post more, and I am going to try to do that. I am going to do that. Um, and I thought, what better way to start than this morning? Again, I was going to do it last night, and then, especially after my son called, I was just like, yep, no, not happening tonight. Maybe tomorrow. So, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear how you're doing. I'm also, at this point in my life, I'm not giving up meat. On a healthy alternative, a lot of those people, and I'm not saying those people. I don't mean it that way. I'm just referring to a lot of the people on a healthy alternative on that site, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But they choose more of a vegan lifestyle. They don't eat meat. They're more plant-based, and which is fine, totally fine. I have no problem with that. If that's what they so choose to do, more power to them. And I've heard remarkable stories, and that's great. I like meat, and that's not to say that someday down the road I might go, yeah, I don't want to do meat anymore. But for me, for right now, I like meat. But we'll see. Things, you know, ebbs and flows. Things change. You never know. But for right now, this is where I'm at. I just am trying to eat healthier. Like last night, I came home and I made myself a tossed salad. It was kind of a mixed greens, and I just used some light dressing. But I did use some regular cheese on it. I did make myself some fried eggs, but I actually used it's a coconut oil spray in the pan, and just a little bit of seasoning on that and some cheese on that, because mind you, I had fasted for 24 hours, just water fasted. And I did have some peanut butter after that, because I hadn't eaten in 24 hours. So you still have to feed your body. You can't fast for 24 hours and then come in and have a piece of lettuce. You still have to feed your body. The Organifi green has not come in yet, but as soon as that does, I will show it to you. I'll shoot a video, and we will taste it together, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. I wanted to get it to try to get more of the nutrients into my body to try to help make myself a little bit healthier, because I'm not always the greatest about getting salads into my life, until just recently. But we shall see how that tastes too. So anyway, I'm going to finish eating my breakfast and finish working on my laundry. So I hope that if you could hear my washing machine in the background, that it wasn't too distracting. But I pray that you are healthy, that you're happy, that you're safe. And I pray that you have peace, sweet peace in your life. Until we meet again, my friends, have a fantastic weekend. Be safe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.